Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're taking another look here at Pepe Volume 2 of our Space Odyssey, or whatever you want to call it. I love Star Trek, Star Wars Day, May 4th, whatever. May the 4th be with you. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm just getting a lot of requests to kind of cover this again since it just jumped up pretty significantly with this nice little flag pattern here, right? We got this pennant breakout. Perfect little shot upwards. Okay, now it didn't retrace because anytime I send out videos like this, or just say my updates through Twitter, essentially with potential playouts, they're always including the pullback, so you know where to dollar cost average, right? Well, truth be told, the price didn't really pull back all that far. Yes, we bounced off of 0.382 here, or previously 0.236, but we'll take a look at that much more. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today, and if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCash.tech is the website, link down below. Got a lot of new members coming over here, a lot of Pepe holders too, and Algorand, a handful of others. It's really nice to have the community growing again here, because again, there was a dip recently, of course, when the price was down at 16,000 for Bitcoin. Scary time. We're back on track, at least with these meme coins here, right? That said, what we want to take a look at here is a small handful of things. So first and foremost, we want to look at our MACD still converging, right? Earlier today, I mentioned that it could possibly diverge. That is a potential reality, but we're not there yet, okay? We've also got the stochastic RSI kind of coming up here. I typically like to look for the second top. So when we get that convergence for the second time, that's when we see a reversal in a lot of cases. You don't see examples here too much, but if you can kind of see when we get this first and then that second dip, that kind of gets us that little confirmation that we're overextended. The first attempt, you don't bother with it. Just like when you peak up over 70 in the RSI, do not sell until the RSI comes back down under 70. Okay, that's typically the rule of thumb. As we can see here previously, I don't know if you can see this here, but when the price came down to bounce off 0.236, we hit that little bounce off of 70 in the RSI. Exactly the reason you do not sell until you get confirmation. Okay, so good news there. Well done on a lot of my community members. They were able to maximize their benefit there. We can see this 20-day set moving average that was averaging itself out upwards is now averaging itself out a little further over, which is good. That kind of gives us a little bit of range here, a little bit more support, if you will. Okay, so being above both those moving averages is extremely important. So the 4 hour is extremely bearish, extremely bullish, no bearish signs whatsoever. What we want to recognize too also is the fact that we might have a reset here for TD sequential. Let's see. We technically didn't get enough of a reset, so we got to keep this in mind. There is potential for pullback here. You always got to be mindful of that because we have a full 9 4-hour candles counting upwards. But what TD sequential does, in case you're familiar or unfamiliar, what you want to do is you want to basically take the 4th previous candlestick and count up to a 9. That's basically what it's doing. So this, the 5 is lower than the 9, 6 is lower than the 10, so on and so forth. But once you hit a 9, it's supposed to slow down and consolidate or retrace. Okay, so if we are due for a pullback, soon would be the case. All right, we might occur soon. All right, keep this in mind. With parabolic runs, you can see 9+ on dailies. Right, we're only on the 4 hour here, and we're seeing a 9. That's like what, 72 hours of continuation. So it's nothing obsessive or crazy, but it is definitely a lot. All right, so just bear that in mind. We are getting closer to the top, at least the immediate top, where the price should pull back. If we want this to be a healthy run, keep this in mind. It's been very healthy this whole time. Up, over, almost the same thing. Short squeeze right there, strong side over, this nice little pennant pattern with a breakout. Okay, so a lot of good stuff here. I love what I see. Oops, love what I'm seeing here. Okay, so good stuff. What we want to look at next as well is on the hourly. I like to really look at the same thing here, of course, on TD sequential, right? We're at a 4, we're retesting this resistance level. Good chance we might break through that as well. Okay, that basically just implies we have another 5 hours of continuation to the upside as potential, because we did have a nice healthy reset here, and this was a period of long enough consolidation for the price to continue higher. Okay, now what we also want to look at too is the volume, and we can see that the volume is increasing above this moving average. That's extremely important. To be able to sustain this push, we need to be able to maintain that kind of volume. That's exactly why the price hasn't pulled back, because we got this extra burst of volume essentially staying above that moving average. Okay, so that's a very positive sign as well. We also want to kind of take a quick look at the volume profile. We can see a nice support range here at the 165 range. Round number 165. Okay, so 165 is a nice little support zone there. So we can actually add a second support zone here and kind of just have that be a little bit of an area to pay attention to. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and change the color there, make it all nice and pretty, and essentially make sure that we are paying attention to those 2 zones, right? Those are support ranges. Now, when it comes to support as well, we need to recognize that Fibonacci retracement has a lot to do with it. Okay, so the price does pull back. I hope this isn't getting too messy on the screen for you, but there are some areas here we want to pay attention to. Okay, so it's common for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern to occur. We're tentatively at the top here. Again, bear this in mind. Earlier when I made my video, we were tentatively at the top here. Okay, so you got to keep in mind that that'll continue to move until it pulls back and creates a lower low. Okay, so ultimately, there we go. There she goes again, just taking off. So once again, we're gonna have to increase Fibonacci retracement levels and kind of adjust as we go along. But the bottom line is 0.382 is a key Fibonacci retracement level where the price will pull back. So we're just gonna go ahead and adjust this. Keep in mind, when it keeps moving up like this, you kind of got to wait for the candlestick to close before you can do anything with it. So for right now, we'll have to keep it tentatively right there at that level, and we'll go ahead and have another conversation later. So I'll review this again in the morning to give us more concrete levels, because with it moving like this, it's really hard to say where the Fibonacci retracement lines are going to end up. But the bottom line here is we got a lot of support based on volume and previous resistance here. So if the price does pull back, I would say this new 0.382 level at 167 is an appropriate range to consider adding to position if we pull back. Keep this in mind in price discovery with what we saw here previously. The price tested this resistance, and then it broke through soundly the third attempt. Okay, a lot of times that'll happen. The price breaks through a resistance level, which we just saw. It'll come down potentially to retest that level and bounce off support. Okay, so again, a lot of little things are going on here, but when it's moving crazy and fast like this, the best thing to do, in my personal opinion, is just to kind of take a step back and to watch and relax. I know it sounds crazy. It's hard to not want to FOMO in at this point, but I can tell you that Pepe is, it's got some pep in its step right now. It's definitely doing very well. But regardless of that fact, you don't want to be the guy that buys the top, right? I would recommend being a little patient here, because yes, these pumps are nice. Average your position up if this is your long-term coin, but if you're just day trading or swing trading, you want to be cautious not to get stuck and to buy the top before it drops, okay? Because there's going to be a point inevitably where the large market movers that have a tremendous amount of volume are going to be able to sell their positions that are in extreme profit right now. Okay, so bear that in mind. You might get stuck. So just some friendly reminders here. If you're going to dollar cost average, the 167 and of course the 147 range is a good range to try to get in. But furthermore, those are also reaffirming themselves as strong support ranges. Okay, so we're going to just talk about that a little bit later. So tomorrow morning, I'll go ahead and make sure to review this again and see where we're at. We're going to probably have to update the Fibonacci retracement levels, but just note that if there is a pullback to the most recent resistance, which is this range right here, the 167 to 180, is a likelihood. Okay, so I love that it's doing this, but the pullback would make sense here in the near future. Okay, once again, TD sequential on the hourly tells us we got about 3 or 4 more hours of continuation of the upside. Let's see if our CC golden indication is giving us anything here, and we can see yes, it is. In fact, if you take a look here, we got a long position followed by a close position. Got a long position, close, long, close. So this indicator is perfect for coins like this that are going on good runs. It helps you get in and out within those solid ranges based on overextension and confirmation. Okay, so again, this is available on our homepage if you would consider purchasing. Of course, there's an instructional video if you want to learn how to use it effectively, but it's been perfect for things like this, and we've been posting those results on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, please be sure to jump on over here and help us grow the community by following us, liking, retweeting, the whole 9 yards. Greatly appreciate that kind of support. And same thing with the channel here too. Follow, tell your friends, and feel free to become a community member if you decide you want to, just become a better trader or be in a community of other traders that are doing very, very well. Okay, so again, really cool stuff here. Awesome, great. can't speak high enough about the community and of course everything that's going on there. So thanks again for everyone, to everyone for being just an amazing part of my life, and I'm really thankful to be able to share this experience with you. I look forward to work with you. We'll hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care.